Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" and instead of saying it was amazing, you reply, "It was double plus good." Sounds strange, doesn't it? Now imagine saying ungood instead of bad. Imagine a language where words like excellent, fantastic, brilliant, wonderful, magnificent, and outstanding no longer exist. They are all replaced by one word, good. And if something is even better, plus good, or double plus good. This language does really exist. Well, not in the real world. It was invented by George Orwell for his novel 1984. He called this language Newspeak. At first glance, it looks like a simplified version of English, but the more you look at it, the stranger it becomes. Because Newspeak is probably the only language ever designed with the goal of becoming smaller every year. Most languages grow. English adds new words constantly. Technology creates new words. Science creates new words. Culture creates new words. Newspeak does the exact opposite. Every year, words are removed, not added, removed, and that raises a question: why would anyone deliberately destroy their own language? To understand Newspeak, let's compare it to normal English. In English, there are many ways to express the same idea. Something can be good, or great, or excellent, or fantastic, or extraordinary. Each word carries a slightly different meaning. Each word adds a little more precision, a little more emotion, a little more color. Why have six words when one word can do the job? Good needs something stronger, plus good needs something even stronger, double plus good, and that is done. The same thing happens with the opposite. Instead of having words like bad, terrible, awful, horrible, and dreadful, Newspeak simply uses ungood. That's it. The language constantly removes synonym, it removes antonyms, it removes shades of meaning, it removes complexity. Everything becomes smaller, simpler, more rigid. Is to make language as narrow as possible. But why? What problem is this solving? The answer is where Newspeak becomes frightening. Most people assume language exists to help us communicate. Well, it helps us to communicate, but it can do much more than that. Newspeak wasn't created for communication, it was created for control. The government in Orwell's world believed something dangerous. They believed that language shapes thought. Think about it. Every idea you have ever had was expressed using words. Every belief, every argument, every dream, every revolution. Language gives shape to thought. So the government asked a terrifying question: what happens if we remove words needed to express certain ideas? What happens if people no longer have words like freedom, justice, equality, rebellion, resistance? At first, people might still feel those ideas, but they would struggle to explain them, struggle to discuss them, struggle to organize around them, and over time, those ideas would become harder and harder to think about. That was the purpose of Newspeak, not simply to change language, but to shrink the boundaries of thought itself. Normally, government suppresses rebellion after it appears. The party wanted to stop rebellion before it could even begin. Because every revolution starts in the same place, a human mind. Someone notices injustice, someone questions authority, someone imagines a different future. That thought spreads through words, then through conversations, then through movements, then through history. The party wanted to break this chain at the very beginning, at language itself. Because if a thought cannot be expressed, it becomes harder to develop. And if enough words disappear, entire categories of thought begin to vanish. The goal was not to punish the thought crime, the goal was to make thought crime impossible. The consequences go far beyond politics. Imagine trying to write poetry in Newspeak. Imagine trying to write a love letter, or a novel, or a song. Creative expression depends on the language. It depends on the nuance, on metaphor, on subtle expressions between words. But Newspeak strips all of that away. A language with fewer words creates fewer possibilities. Fewer possibilities create fewer ideas. Even old books become impossible to preserve. In Orwell's world, classic literature is translated into newspeak, but the translation lose much of their meaning. because the language no longer contains the concepts needed to express the original ideas. The words survive, the thoughts do not. Orwell even gives a name to the final stage, duck speak. Imagine a duck making noise. Sounds come out, but there is no thought behind them. That is duck speak. People repeat slogan, repeat official opinions, repeat government messages, but they never question them. Language becomes automatic, speech becomes automatic, thinking disappears. People simply echo what they are told. At that point, language no longer serves human being serves the language. The true frightening thing about Newspeak is not the strange words, not ungood, not plus good, not double plus good. Those are just symptoms. The real danger is the idea behind them, a world where language becomes smaller, where vocabulary shrinks, where expression narrows, where people lose the ability to describe what they feel, what they believe, and what they dream about. Because when words disappear, ideas disappear with them. And when the ideas disappear, freedom does not need to be taken away. People simply forget that it ever existed.